The sweet serenade of spring sunrise filtered through her eyelids, beckoning her to awake from her slumber and explore the world her mind's eye had crafted. A curious sight indeed. Things never seen before, strange and yet endearingly familiar. Am I me or am I her? How should she know the difference? A mirror knows not it merely a reflection, as much as the one staring into it believes they are the source of the mirror's truth. She had awoken, but had she? Her absolute awakening was to be found far from here, on a journey that only an open mind and an open heart might undertake. She soon found herself on the precipice of a great dividing range, where ordered thoughts give way to the expanse of the imagination, where orphaned ideas gather and mingle with wayward sparks of inspiration. Those she thought that had been lost forever had found playful refuge in vast spaces where they openly expressed themselves, where the bookend of every day is the excitement of discovery and the celebration of individuality. And then, suddenly, a hush fell across the land, as if a childhood blanket had been pulled over the hills and valleys. The universe had spoken. Hush, don't tell them where I'm hiding. Had she been hiding all this time? If one is always growing, then one is never oneself for very long at all. She saw the many different versions of herself that had been, all still there in fragments, reflected across the universe of her soul. And in all those reflections, she saw her life journey composed, a unique song and dance to be embraced in the rapture of now. She discovered nothing can ever be hidden, for nothing ever remains the same. She roamed further still, as restless feet and a curious mind are prone to encourage, finding herself lost in a land sparse of life and yet rich with its promise. Mesmerized by the winds that swept tiny particles of life all around, she wondered to herself, is this where all the seeds and pollen come from? A place so bare yet so fruitful. Mother Sovereign, who hears all wondrous thoughts we keep to ourselves, and is dutifully bound to answer, replied simply, At last she found herself in the most remote of regions, a sparse place where childhood memories want to be lived in again, and future goals hoped and dreamed for are fleeting, like grains of sand tossed hopelessly amongst a billion other grains of sand. She stood upon them and asked herself, am I still dreaming? No answer came. She shouted aloud, when I hoped to awake, have I fallen deeper into slumber instead? And still, no answer came. She was completely alone. She was absolutely herself, and she was entirely awake. And when she found herself in the truth of that moment, she was entirely at peace. For what the heart desires, the eyes can perceive. But what the mind's eye perceives, the heart can make real.